everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is 950 AM WHVW, the heart and soul of American music, and you are listening to Happenings Around the Hudson Valley. My name is James Burke, and I am sitting here with Stan, the Boss Moss, and we will be bringing you news, views, and interviews you can use regarding arts, entertainment, and culture right here in the mid-Hudson Valley region. We'll be talking to you till about 8 o'clock. Thank you for joining us this morning. Right now, it's looking like we might be getting some rain today.
Yes, indeed.
Just so you know. It's a nice morning right now, though a little breezy. It's about 73 degrees outside. We are looking at a high of 88. Low of 61, so it should be a pretty nice day either way, but we are looking at a chance of some rain. It's expected to blow through, though. It shouldn't be raining.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Happenings Around the Hudson. You're listening to WHVW950AM. We're having a good morning, had a better week. Yeah, this rain's supposed to pass through around noontime, but then it's going to get hot.
Yeah.
Once again, you know how the humidity is, especially here on the coast of the river.
That's the catch. It's the catch. If it's
Yeah.
not raining, it's hot.
But I'd highly recommend people don't stay at home alone. Don't lock yourself in just because it's going to rain, because it's going to get clear. It's going to get clear fast. This afternoon there's a lot of events, and I'd hate to see anybody cancel it out and stay home alone. You know, just get out and enjoy yourself. There's plenty of events going on. School's coming back into session. There's a lot of events going on in the parks, and get out and enjoy yourself. Once again, we have the activities down at the North Landing over by the bridge, and so there's a lot of things going on. So don't leave yourself at home alone in the house. Don't lock yourself in. It's going to pass by real quick, and hopefully it gets by about 1 o'clock. So it's going to blow through and then turn around and get really hot and humid. But so the breeze should be around 10 miles an hour. So that should keep things pretty stable this afternoon.
Yeah, hopefully.
But in fact, it's going to be around 70 degrees tonight, so with the same breeze. So everybody, just try to stay cool tonight, because that's not going to be much of a temperature change for the nighttime hours.
Yeah, it should be nice. Not too bad. 70s is good for me. 70s is good. Well, all right, friends. We're gonna jump in this year. We got some exciting news and announcements about arts and entertainment in the Mid-Hudson Valley. If you'd like to share your thoughts with us, our phone number is 845-471-8180. We'd love to hear from you. All right, there was something you wanted to start with today, wasn't there?
Yes, I'd like to give a shout out to the mayor and the city council. First of all, showing people how great involvement is. I really loved seeing everybody come out for the March Against Violence and the rally they had down at the river. I really enjoyed that. It was nice seeing the mayor out and some of the council members. And I'd really like to thank Mr. Robert Patterson for doing that. Templeton, excuse me.
I was doing the same thing last week when we had
so early.
It was the councilwoman who called in, right?
Yes, it was. It was Mrs. Ann Perry.
What did I call her? I think I called her Sue. I have no idea why. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, she has an event also. I'd like to give a special shout out to our first ward councilman, Mr. Chris Pestis, and the work that he has done over at Pulaski Park. They had painted the Pulaski pool, showers, and changing rooms and everything over there. They really beautified the park, and it's really looking nice over there. And with that being said, I'd like to sort of start the morning read with this in mind, because they have certain locations around the city where they give free lunches out, which are provided by the Board of Education. And they're delivered by the Board of Education. And one of those locations is actually at the Harriet Tubman Academic Skills Center. The other one's at Pulaski Pool. There's another one at Spratt Pool. And there's locations all around. If you want to get involved with these locations and find out where they're at, you can go to the website, Gypsy City Parks, which is on their website. but I didn't get in touch with the Parks Department directly. But the thing is, from July 6th through August 19th, there's a free lunch program from 1 to 1:45 p.m. in the community room above the leasing office in the Harriet Tubman after-school program. And also today, I believe, yes. All right. It's a free community event sponsored by the 5th Ward Councilmember Mrs. Ann Perry in association Sold Out for Christ Incorporated, Saturday, August 6th. That's today from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Like I said, don't let the rain keep you inside. It's at College Hill Park playground area on North Clinton Street. They have free hot dogs, free school supplies, music, activities for the children. So this is getting that time back to school. So we really want to get involved with that and get our kids supplied and ready for the school year. So
all the great services and opportunities put on here are just fantastic.
Oh yes, no doubt. And it's just like the next one we got up at Art Central, and that's at 485 Main Street. Now they have the artist studios, galleries, meeting spaces, gift shops, community ceramics classes, and parties. And if you want to find out more information about that, you can give them a call at 845-454-4046. Let's see, 454. I could barely read that. 4525. Excuse me, 454-4525. Really sorry about that small print. Okay. Also at the Upper Landing Park Community Celebration, Saturday, August 6th, which is today, from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., which is free, featuring non-stop entertainment. And let me flip my phone around here and get a better picture of this. I'm reading everything off my cell phone, ladies and gentlemen, that was posted on the happenings around the Hudson.
I'll mention that right now. It's a good mention of it. We are online, of course. This show is called Happenings Around the Hudson Valley, and our Facebook group, it's not just a page, it's a group you can join and share your events with the community. The Facebook group and also our YouTube channel, where we archive our shows and our recordings of past events. I know that recently we've recorded the Father's Day Parade and the March Against Violence, and you can find footage of those events on our YouTube channel. It's all under the same name, Happenings Around the Hudson Valley. And I was saying just a minute ago, I'm from Kingston, but the thing that always impresses me about Poughkeepsie is the tremendous investment in social services in this city. I've been told always that if you need a place to get back on your feet, there's no better place to find yourself in that predicament than Poughkeepsie, because you will get the help you need. It is there. I really admire that about this city and about this community.
Yeah, and we've got more. I mean, as far as getting kids ready for their education, there's another one coming up, which is free backpacks and supplies and more. And that's going to be August the 20th, and it's going to be held between 10 a.m. and 12 noon. And it's going to be at the Christ Episcopal Church at 20 Cornell Street in Poughkeepsie, which is right across the street from the Clinton Elementary School. And a child must be attended by a parent in order to get a backpack. They'll have free hot dogs and hamburgers and a visit from Ronald McDonald. So it's going to be a good time for all to be had. Just make sure that your child is with a parent or an adult. And of course, August 9th, which is I have a fondness for this organization here because I did graduate from their community leadership program last year, along with a real good friend of mine, which is Miss Carrie Razor, and which is our county legislator. It's Time is Art. Let's see. It's Time is Art Poughkeepsie screening. That's going to be August 9th at the Mid-Hudson Heritage Center. And that's right across the street from us, right here. And that's at 316 Main Street. Okay, Serenicity at the Collective Dream. So check that out. I'm sure you would enjoy that. And then also August 13th we have the Caribbean Festival, which is at 12 p.m. at Bartlett Park, and that's also going to be a beautiful, outstanding, very colorful celebration. I'm sure everybody will have a good time. So you might want to get out there. Like I said, that's August 13th. So that'll be at Bartlett Park starting at 12 p.m. And let's see what else we got. And I got so many installments here. Seriously, they came up last night, and I was trying to get them all off in time for this morning, and I had no idea. And there's a couple more. There's also concerts today too. Let's see, we got Class Act Media, Endless Sacrifice, Sonder, Alterations, Stanford and Son, which is an unusual name, so it sort of gives you a flashback of the comedy with Red Fox. But that's August 14th. Doors is open at 6 p.m., $5 at the door. My Place Pizza, 322 Main Street, which is 2 doors down from us. So we know the guys who used to record their open mic nights on Wednesdays. So stop by there. $5 is a drop in the bucket for good entertainment. So I'm sure everybody will enjoy that.
And for the record, I like their pizza too.
Now I've got one here. It's the Hudson Valley Jazz Festival, August 11th through 14th. There are so many bands on this. I really recommend that you go to the website and read the list and places that are there. From the 11th through 14th, I have counted 12 different bands at 12 locations, and you can go to HudsonValleyJazzFestival.org and check it out, or you can go to Happenings Around the Hudson Valley, or you can go to my Facebook site at Stanley K. Moss, and you can read it a lot better than I can. But there is a whole venue there, and like I said, I would really check out these concerts because there's some pretty good names on the venue, especially around the opening acts and the closing acts. Really caught my attention because I've made announcements for these bands on other venues also. So you might want to go to the website and check it out, because I'm trying to read it off the phone and it's really fine print, but you can actually go to the website and blow it up a little bit more than I can, but because I got it under pictures. But Severices Studios, Entertain, Inspire, Give Back presents an evening with Katie Hofstetler. Excuse me, August 13th at 7 p.m. It's 252 Main Street, $10 at the door. And if you're interested in any other shows that she might be doing, just go to, what is it, KHSONGWRITER.com. Okay.
Where was that again?
The only thing it has is 252 Main Street, August 13th, 7 p.m. And $10 at the door. It's Severices Studios. CDC Studios. SEDSI Studios. But all it gives is an address. It doesn't give a name.
See if I can look that up right here.
Yeah. SEDSI Studios. That's all it is. Usually has a place, but I guess it's held in the studio. It's like I remember somebody posted up on the website that there was a whole studio, okay, for sale. I couldn't believe that when I seen that. I said, what? The equipment and everything was for sale. I said, you gotta be kidding me. They had a reputation, had the artists and everything. It was looked like a class act studio, but and we also have one at Rep 845 Empire Entertainment presents STR8 Hour TH5 track. and that's at the Brass Rail at 542 Route 9, Fishkill, New York. And let's see, that's September 30th, 9 p.m. to close. There's $10 with flyer, VIP open bar, tickets $25 email, and free shuttle available. Creep Star, Ray V, rapper, and DJ King James. Yeah, that's at Rep 845. Represent 845. Then it's put on by Kick Rock Incorporated and HTE. Actually sounds like a good show. But that's at the Brass Rail, and that's 54. Can't even talk right now. I'm trying to read that thing. That's a hard one to read. But anyway, moving on. We got the Roxy Perry Band concert Friday, August, and that was yesterday. Boom, 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 boom. Moving on. And it's that time again for the Repair Cafe. Now, I've worked with these people before, with the Partners in the Park. They actually gave incentives to Partners in the Park to clean up the park. They gave out free bicycles. The First Evangelical Lutheran Church at Mill Street and Catherine Street, downtown Poughkeepsie. Fix it for free. Repair station. And they fix everything mechanical, electrical, electronics, lamps, jewelries, clothing, stuffed animals and textiles, vacuums, things made of wood, bikes, toys. Let's see. Kids take part in the fixing table, computers, digital device configurations, and lost manual lookups in case you lost your instruction manual for your device. And plus coffee, tea, sweets, and savory bakery treats. Bring food items for the St. Paul's food pantry. So that's going to go on from Saturday, August 13th, 9 to 12 noon. Okay? That's Saturday, August 13th at the First Evangelical Lutheran Church in the city of Poughkeepsie at the corner of Mill Street and Catherine Street, downtown Poughkeepsie. That's about a block and a half away from here. And we also have one at the Howland Cultural Center. Coffee House presents Hope Machine, Susan Wright, Jacob Burns, and Rick Percio. And that's Saturday, August 6th, which is today. That's 477 Main Street, Beacon. If you'd like more information, and that's 845-831-4988. And that starts at 8:30 p.m. It's $10 at the door. So you might want to check that out. That's today at 8:30. It's $10 at the door. That's 477 Main Street, Beacon. Okay, and that's at the Howland Cultural Center's Coffee House. And moving right along, let's see, you already did that one. And Pier Restaurant and Tiki Bar, Sugar Rush, Saturday, August 6th. Like I said, this is not a day to stay inside.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's today, man. Today's going to be a beautiful day. Once the rain passes by, there's plenty of things to do. Do not lock yourself in your house. Get out and about. Don't let this little blow-by rain stop you. Okay, so at the Pier Restaurant and Tiki Bar, they present Sugar Rush. Okay, that starts at 8 p.m. And moving on from there, and then, by the way, Sugar Rush does play all of today's top 40 radio hits, so and plus more, so you'd be highly entertained with up-to-date music. And here's one that caught my eye, because he actually did my mural and stuff at the Family Partnership, and a couple of years back. And he's Poughkeepsie's favorite artist. He did the sculpture of John Flowers, which was presented at the Christmas Lights Parade out here in front of the building. And but this is the Howland Cultural Center presents portraits of 2016 with 17 Hudson Valley artists, and that takes place August 6th through the 28th. Opening reception Saturday, August 6th, which is today, at 3 to 5 p.m. Gallery hours are 1 to 5 p.m. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. at the Howland Cultural Center, 477 Main Street, Beacon, New York. And if you'd like more information, it's 845-831-4988. Okay, so, or you can check it out on our web page, on our Facebook page at Happenings Around the Hudson Valley, or on my personal Facebook page for commentary.
Sounds interesting, yeah.
There's so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's hard to keep up with. It truly is.
There's so many great galleries around the area and opportunities for visual artists based in the Hudson Valley to have their work exhibited. It's all out there, and it's our pleasure to bring it to you.
Yeah, and that's it for the morning read. I hope you guys get outside. This is Dan the Boss Moss reporting for Happenings Around the Hudson Valley. Get out, do something, and don't let the weather hold you back. Don't feel alone and sit at home. So with all that said, all my rowdy friends are coming over tonight.
All right, friends, it's about, what was that, 6:24? 6:23? You're listening to WHVW950AM. This is Happenings Around the Hudson Valley. My name is James Burke, and I'm sitting here with Stan the Boss Moss. We're bringing you news, views, and interviews you can use about arts, entertainment, and culture here in the Mid-Hudson Valley region. We'll be talking to you till 8 o'clock. If you'd like to share your thoughts with us, our phone number is 845-471-8180. We'd love to hear from you. Feel free to call in. I got some events of my own that I'd like to read off here. We got some good stuff coming up all over the Hudson Valley.
Information is knowledge. Lay it on me, Big Daddy.
I want to start off by giving a shout out to my friends Carl and Greg, who I know rocked the house at Mahoney's last night. They were there. When did they start? They started there at about 5 p.m. So I know that was a fun evening of music down at Mahoney's. And I want to let you know that they'll be back on Sunday, August 21st, starting at 4 p.m. So, fabulous guitar player, great soul singer. If you want to hear them play, I strongly recommend you get out and hear them. They'll be at Mahoney's on August 21st, 4 p.m.
Sounds like a plan, man.
And speaking of Carl, if you feel like making a trip over to La Porta Azul, he'll be playing with his band, The Real Men, on the 12th, which is next Friday, starting at 8:30. That'll be lovely. That'll be a fun time, I guarantee it. Also, let's see.
Gotta catch up with that young man. He's so busy.
Yeah, been trying to work out the schedule to get him in here to join us in studio. As soon as our schedules work out.
I mean, this man's on tour and he's like busy.
He's interested though. Hopefully, in the near future, he'll be in with us.
Looking forward to it.
Always want to make mention of Music by Maggie. She helps to organize so much over in northern Dutchess County, up in the Red Hook, Cliff, Rhinebeck area. Always want to make sure to mention her events. She will be performing on the 13th at the Hudson Valley Distillers. It's out near Tivoli. She'll be playing at 3 p.m. On the 20th, she'll be at the Smoky Rock Barbecue at 7 p.m. And on the 27th at Taste Buds Cafe starting at 1 p.m. Those are both in Red Hook. So if you want to hear some beautiful singing and some lovely nylon string guitar playing, very mellow, fun, family-friendly evening of music, or afternoon, this is the case, with the Hudson Valley Distillers and Taste Buds gigs, make your way over there to hear Music by Maggie. The Paul Green Rock Academy, they're based in Saugerties. They teach kids how to play instruments that are common to rock music, and they also have some excellent workshops throughout the summer, year round, but I had the list for the summer with professional musicians who come in and speak to the kids and everything off.
Inspiration.
I have my list here. I'll read off some of the ones that are still going on. Just as soon as I can find it. It's going back a couple weeks. Yep, just finishing up this week. They had the Bad Brains Jam Camp with Dr. No. Remember the Bad Brains? We saw them. They were doing their thing down at the My Place Pizza.
Yes, indeed.
So that just wrapped up. Earlier this summer, they had workshops with Tracy Bonham, Jason Bowman, local songwriters Simi Stone, plus Andy Chernoff and Gibby Haynes, which
Right.
is very interesting to me. Some experience in punk rock music there. So the Paul Green Academy, they do great work. I've some friends who have their son enrolled, and they produce some good guitar players and some good drummers and some good singers. This weekend, they're doing their tribute to the alternative rock music of the 1980s. That's happening at the Woodstock Music Lab. You can catch those kids in action today at 7 p.m. That's at the Woodstock Music Lab, and next week, same place, Woodstock Music Lab. They'll be doing 7 p.m. concerts on the 12th and the 13th. That's next Friday and next Saturday. And they'll be doing their tribute to Van Halen. And believe me when I tell you, these kids will be able to play that stuff.
Oh, yes,
They
indeed.
do a great job at teaching these kids.
I remember Eddie Van Halen made my day all the way to high school. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, it was a fun time with them.
That album Van Halen came out in '79, I believe, and I graduated in '80, so that was pretty good. It was really good. Good year for albums to come out in the late '70s.
Definitely. Definitely. Okay. In Kingston, some good stuff going on in Kingston next week. In case you're listening to us closer to Kingston, or you feel like making a road trip.
Yep, just right across the pond,
Speaking
right
of
up the hill.
fun visual arts and opportunities for visual artists, this summer we've been working with the Art Bar in Kingston, and they have a new exhibit opening up. Let's see, the solo exhibit, I believe, is today. Yes, the opening reception is today, starting at 5 p.m. by Barbara Gordon. It's called Active Engagement, Testing Boundaries. In this recent work, painted surface creates an illusion of a third dimension through the use of color, tone, light and dark, while the wood fragments, in fact, exist in 3 dimensions. So, like last month with, let's see, what was the name? I can only think of Shine, but I know there was a second artist working on it. Yeah, Dina Perlman. Dina Perlman worked with texture, which we saw at the gallery last month. Barbara Gordon also works with texture, in this case incorporating wood into her paintings. The juxtaposition of the actual and illusionistic forces the mind into an active dialogue, which explores the relationship between the objective and the mental, between the outside world and the mind that apprehends it. So this sounds very interesting. I can't wait to see it for myself. I was very impressed with the exhibit they had last month, which was Pablo Shine and Dina Perlman's exhibit. Pablo did so much great stuff with color, and the texture that Dina incorporated into her work was also very stimulating, very interesting to look at.
Right.
To constantly remind myself not to touch the paintings, you know. So this month their exhibit is by Barbara Gordon. It's called Active Engagement, Testing Boundaries, and the opening reception is tonight at 5 p.m. Also want to express again how much I admire the Art Bar for doing the fundraiser to end child abuse last weekend. That was on the 31st. They had the extra weekend in July, and they thought, well, what can we do that would take advantage and really do something constructive with this extra time? So they did the fundraiser there, and I think that was great for them to do that.
And if you do have a problem with violence in the home, even marital violence or child violence, please contact the Grace House here in the city of Poughkeepsie. You can look that up, and you can also find it on our Facebook. And please contact them, and they can help you out immediately, including relocation. It's all anonymous.
Very much.
So that's the Grace Smith House. Just look them up, or contact the Family Partnership, and you can do that anonymously. if there's violence in the home.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, great services offered.
yes,
right
for
there.
children and adults.
Mm-hmm. Very much. So to wrap things up with the art bar, they have, of course, regularly scheduled events during the month. On the 11th, which is this coming Thursday, at 7:30 p.m., they're going to have the Womps Poetry Reading, featuring Tony Pina and Gary Seigel, featured poets this month. And on the 27th, which is, that is the last Saturday in this
Right.
month, they're going to feature tango dancing. The event is called Milonga Come Il Fought, and that starts at 8 p.m. So if you are a fan of tango
Yes,
and
indeed.
tango music, I believe they're going to have the DJ Vivo, I believe his name is.
Right.
His name, her name, not sure. I have 2 left feet, so I don't get out to dancing events. I'm
Right.
sorry. But I know that tango's very popular. I know that recently salsa has become very popular in the area. So if that sounds like your kind of a thing,
Right.
please head on out there. That's on the 27th at 8 p.m.
Yes, I'd like to give a shout out real quick to the Middle Main Street community leaders reception. I just received a.
You want to take it over for a minute?
Yep,
I'll be right back.
ahead. I'd like to thank them for sending me an invitation for August 19th leadership award ceremony, and I will be taking them up on it. I see it's a casual attire, and the RSVP that attendance for that I have to do before August 8th, so I will be on that as soon as I get home. And the event takes place Friday, August 19th, from 5:30 to 7. And also, it sounds like an excellent program, because I know I graduated at the community leadership program, and I'm looking forward to the event. I try to record a lot of the events that Middle Maine puts on, and they're a subsidiary of Hudson River Housing, and we appreciate everything they do as far as getting people involved and becoming community leaders. It's an excellent program, so if you're looking for something to do, I really recommend you stop by the Heritage Center right here on Main Street, right across the street from the radio station, and check them out. And Hudson River Housing is located at 313 Mill Street in Poughkeepsie, and the Heritage Center is at 316 Main Street. So, so if you want to check them out, please do get involved. Information is knowledge, and that's exactly what we're doing here with the multimedia service, with the radio, YouTube, and Facebook. So with that, that's what got me started. And that and my mentor, Mr. John Flowers, and that's where I got started. After 23 years of volunteering, I decided to start a multimedia, and I ended up on the radio, and a little nudge from my mentor, and a lot of good things happened. Now I'm trying to support the city. I thank the city and the city council for allowing me to record their events. I appreciate everything that the city of Poughkeepsie has done to allow me to do that and push the musical experience. There's a lot of hidden talent here in the city of Poughkeepsie in the Hudson Valley area, and I really appreciate everybody sending their stuff from the bands near me website and getting the word out, and the hidden talents that we have. I'd like to also thank Middle Main Street and the Heritage Center for allowing me to cover some of their events, and also the city of Poughkeepsie once again, such as your Honorable Mayor Rob Rollison and all the council members for allowing me to show up in their wards, their districts, and recording some of these outings, which I will do my best to get to and record them and put those on YouTube also. I ran in interesting enough. School is starting to go back into session, getting ready to, and there's a lot of school supplies events that's fixing to take place. And with that being said, I ran into the president of the Board of Education, Mr. Ralph Coates, and once again told him that I was interested in actually advertising for the Board of Education, PTA. And I went to their first meeting last year, which was held at the middle school, and I wanted to put some of their events on the air and also on YouTube and record them, such as the football games, the fundraisers and stuff like that to help the education department out for raising funds and the PTA, and just get the involvement going in the school and see if we can't pick up the education department just a little bit and help them out, because after all, education is one of the most important factors that we need to improve in the city of Poughkeepsie. But when it comes to the city of Poughkeepsie, you can really feel the buzz in the air, the involvement from the city council and Mr. Rob Rollison, our mayor. It's really catching on. I'm glad I voted for him. The man has some good ideas, and I'd like to see him come through and become available for everyone. I think a lot of other cities could actually take a lesson from the revitalization that's taking place in the city of Poughkeepsie. Is starting to grow. The involvement, the volunteers, and everything through the Middle Main Street Initiative. Like I said, I wanted to start up Partners in the Park. I know there's some issues still on the table concerning Juarez Park. That's still to be worked out. But no matter what they do with it, I'd still like to have volunteers. The only problem with that is incentives. Now, we give incentives here to college students, and we was happy to have Miss Kelsey Cox here last year from Vassar College, and she graduated last year with honors, and she's moved on to Chicago, and now she's on a radio station there because of her work in journalism. She's been here on the radio. She spent 3 years with Mr. John Flowers seasonally, and she spent her last year here with us on happenings around the Hudson Valley. You can see her do her stuff and giving us information from the college, and you can also go back and watch those on YouTube. I was very pleased to have her, and I wish her great success. And we're willing to do the same thing for the high school kids and any other association that's willing to work for positive reinforcement of volunteering. So, with that being said, you're listening to WHVW950AM. If you have any commentary that you'd like to put out there on the air or have it recorded for the show, just give us a call at 845-471-8180. And we're sitting here and just having a talk, having a cup of Joe, and we do have a interview coming up shortly, and there's a lot of things. Once again, like I said, don't stay inside. The rain that's forecast for today is going to pass by real quick. It's supposed to be 88 degrees is the high today. Right now we're looking at 74 degrees, and it's going to be a low tonight of 70 degrees, but like I said, the rain's going to pass by real fast between 12 and 1 o'clock this afternoon. So don't keep yourself inside. Get out. It's time to play. It's not time to stay inside and say, oh my God, the day's ruined. There's a lot of things going on that we've announced. We want you to get out, participate, and have fun.
And more still to come?
Yes.
I'm back. Thank you for coming forward.
No, not a problem. Not a problem. I love talking to my friends out there. It gives me a chance to actually talk to the people that actually tune in and get on YouTube and actually have a conversation with. I know they're listening, I know they're out there, and I know they comment, because right now I believe I'm over 1,500 followers right now. So thank you very much, and thank you for your comments, and especially on the events that were posted. There's a lot of comments that's on there. I'll be back on Facebook on both channels, checking out the comments and commenting on your comments. So please enjoy and feel free to comment on anything, any event that you have went to. I'd like to hear your feedback. Let me know if you had a good time. Let me know if you enjoyed it or anything else that might have happened. keep us informed. Information is knowledge. You're listening to Stan Paul Smalls right here on Happenings Around the Hudson Valley. Back to you, big guy.
Well, you know what the best part about that is how it all ties together, because what is culture but a conversation
That's it.
that we have with each other?
Yeah,
So,
and it's not one-sided, because right here on the show, you can call in and start up a conversation anytime you feel the need.
That's right, friends. And once again, if you'd like to share your thoughts with us, our phone number is 845-471-8180. We'd love to hear from you, of course. So let's see. When I left off, I just finished up the Art Bar Gallery and their events for this month.
Yep.
That they have announced so far. They have a mailing list. You can check out their website, search for them online, get in touch with the Art Bar in Kingston, get on their mailing list and find out about all the neat stuff they have coming up, all the great exhibits and all the regular events they have scheduled. There is one more that they're doing this month that I forgot to mention. Of course, we've been following this all summer, the Emerging Artist Classical Music Series.
Yes.
This month's installment features Andrew Hoban and Libby Sokolowski. They will be singing for us. Andrew is a tenor, Libby is a soprano, and that is going to be on Thursday the 18th at 7:30 p.m. And unless something changes,
Right.
the promoter of the event, Brad Humble, I've been talking to all summer, will be joining us to share his thoughts on the series so far, and his goals for the series in the future and what they'll be doing in the fall. I've heard rumors of a jazz series and some other things that they'll be doing, and I'm looking forward to seeing how all of that plays out. So we're looking forward to having him here with us next week.
Yes, indeed.
Brad Humble. Looking forward to it. And this is actually a pretty remarkable coincidence here. Libby Sokolowski is singing at the Emerging Artists Series. Her older sister, Brittany, will be performing at the Old Dutch Church on Thursday and next Saturday, that's the 11th and the 13th, in a production of the one-act opera Suor Angelica. You are invited to come see Capitol Opera Albany's summer production of Puccini's one-act opera Suor Angelica, with performances in Troy as well as New York's first capital, Kingston. This beautiful and dramatic 1 hour of music tells the story of Sister Angelica, a young woman sent to the convent by her princess aunt because of a tryst she had out of wedlock. Scandalous.
Yeah.
Scandalous.
Yes, indeed.
Production is directed and features Kingston local Brittany Sokolowski, who is also playing the title role at the Kingston location, and many other Hudson Valley natives are performing as well.
Dirty deeds done dirt cheap.
Yeah. Right. Like back then, you didn't go on Maury.
Right.
You went to the convent.
Right.
Yeah.
There was no Maury Povich back then.
No Maury Povich back then. Yeah. All those.
You the daddy.
And they got away with it.
Yeah, right.
You know?
I don't know where he went.
Yeah, they disappeared. So the Kingston performances are going to be at the Old Dutch Church. That's on 272 Wall Street in Kingston. And performances will be on Thursday, the 11th, at 12:15. Be a lunchtime performance. Everybody out and about. The Saturday performance on the 13th will be at night, though, starting at 8 p.m. I'll do my best to make it out there. Let's see. Ticket information. Tickets are going to be sold at the door. Suggested donations. Let's see. $10 for an individual. For a couple, $15. There's a discount. And $25 for a whole family. So the more people you bring, the cheaper it gets.
Right.
Yeah.
Bring a whole band.
And we have more to share on that topic. Kind of a last moment deal, but thankfully we were able to put it together. I was able to interview Brittany and her pianist, Travis, yesterday afternoon.
Right.
And at the top of the hour, we're going to have that interview for you.
Excellent.
They really elaborated on the ins and outs of their craft. It was a nice long interview. We take up most of our second hour So I'm very grateful for them to make time for us.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Seriously. We love having interviews from the musicians, entertainers, especially from the local area. That way you can actually understand what motivates them, what inspires them, you know, and they're generally local artists, and this is why we're here. This is what we do. We try to promote people that are actually getting involved and performing locally. And there's not very many places that you can actually do that. Is get information about the people that you actually go to the bars and see. You know, these people make fine careers, and we just try to boost that along. You know, and that's all we do. It's not a job if you love what you do.
That's right.
You know, and we love what we do. That's why we get up so early in the morning to do it. Speaking of, I did have a conversation with a good friend of mine, which owns a couple of businesses around here about sponsorship. He's supposed to get back in touch with me this week. And he just so happens to own a Sunoco convenience store and also the Trinity convenience store here in the city of Poughkeepsie. But I don't want to get ahead of myself, but he was thinking about sponsoring the show because I gave him a price, you know, for month by month, and he was very interested because right now he's not advertising at all. But that would be Sunoco and also the Thrifty convenience stores.
Well, it would be fantastic to have him on board with us.
Yes, it would. I constantly I'm looking for sponsors. I'm always talking about this show because I want to keep the radio segment tied in with the multimedia. I don't want to lose this show. It's not free time. It's just the volunteers that we use here. And it is educational. And we do work with the local colleges, so it does benefit the colleges and education. Ourselves, we volunteer our time. We do not get paid, but the air time is what costs. And there is taxes as far as the FCC goes. You have to pay for the license and the air time, and that's on the owner, which we are so proud of all the stuff that Mr. J.P. Ferraro, the owner of the station, allows us to do in order to get the information out. And we're so proud to have the radio station supporting us in the multimedia services. So with that, thank you, sir. And I continually look for sponsorship for this program. And maybe one day we could maybe move into a different slot later on in the day, and I'm sure we'll do better. But with that being said, I'm going to turn this back over to you. We're staying busy. We're just staying busy.
It sure is. And before we continue, I want to make sure you say congratulations to Antique Mascara and the cast of March in the Parade.
Yes.
This was at the Rosendale Theater last week. That was
yes. Yes,
Saturday.
indeed. Congratulations, dear.
Yeah.
You need to come back and see us, and I'll say it to your face. Congratulations. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. You go, girl.
Looking to keep in touch with them, and hopefully there'll be some good news soon about that show going on the road.
Yeah, and I'm sure everybody's wondering about my attire. I am wearing a flannel shirt on a hot day like today. But the reason I am, this is my brother's shirt, my deceased brother's shirt, which passed away back in 1996, in April of '96. And I wear his shirt through the month of April. I can just cut the sleeves off of it to just recognize loss. And I wear this usually with a hoodie during the wintertime. I've got a collection of his shirts that were sent to me by my sister-in-law, and they're all flannel. So I usually wear them with a black hoodie during the winter. But he was back in '96. He was murdered along with his children. So and his birthday's in August, and so is all my children. Justin's birthday is August 29th. Stephanie's birthday is August 31st, and his was August 25th. So that's the reason I'm wearing this shirt throughout the month of August and throughout the month of April. I always wear these shirts, just in remembrance of my brother. But, so people look at me a little strange. It's a hot month to be wearing flannel, but I do that in remembrance of him.
This is a good reason for it.
Yeah. So it's just a little thing that I do. So people probably gonna look on YouTube and go, what in the heck is he wearing a flannel shirt for? You know, I said, no, this is just the black and white with the flannel. I have to wear the flannel.
Gotcha. I just thought you were looking fly.
I know. Scariest thing I ever do is look in the mirror in the morning. That's enough to wake you up quicker than coffee.
All right. Continuing on. I always want to make mentions of businesses here in the Hudson Valley that are locally owned and so forth. Today is the Hudson Valley Distillers Anniversary Show. If you're over there, you want to drop by, have some delicious cocktails, and see some local live music, feel free to do so. Please do. It's their anniversary show, and they're celebrating with Hickory Smoked. Hickory Smoked. They will be on at 12, and the Shoestring Band will be on at 3.
There you go.
Sounds like a fun afternoon.
I'm telling you, man, you could just make a trip just around the Hudson Valley, man, and just make a beautiful day out of it.
You could, man. You could really keep yourself busy all day if you wanted.
Yeah, distillery, what a place to have a good time. I mean, it's crappy keg, we'll get busy.
Tomorrow, starting at 1 o'clock, you can hear the Goldbergs. They'll be performing as well. They've been a regular this summer at the Hudson Valley Distillers.
Yes.
So they'll be playing tomorrow starting at 1.
Good music, fresh drinks.
Mm-hmm. And before I move on from the Red Hook Rhinebeck area, I want to mention the Taste Buds Cafe. If you happen to stop by, check out their donation bucket. This month, the charity they're doing is the NEADS. That's NEADS, NEADS, which is service dogs for veterans.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to make mention of that charity. They do something they have something ongoing throughout the year. I think it's quarterly. They change up their charities they're doing. Earlier this year, they were doing a cure for Maddie,
Right.
which was researching cures and treatments for autoimmune disorders. This month, and I think for the rest of the summer, it's going to be service dogs for veterans. So I want to make mention of that. One more thing to talk about that I have listed down, then I'm going to flip through my old events, see if anything is still ongoing. This is always exciting when people move away and then they come back. It's funny, people keep coming back to Kingston and the Hudson Valley area, even when they move away to bigger cities or other states. I did the same myself. I moved away to New Orleans for some years before coming back here.
Right.
Former classmate of mine, he played guitar in the jazz band with me in high school. He was a fabulous guitar player. I understand he's since become a singer-songwriter. He's trying to do that and is recording, and he put out a single earlier this year, I believe. He's recording and he is performing and touring. Adam Sickler, a native of the Hudson Valley. I think they lived out near Port Huron.
Right.
I was at his house once for a rehearsal, but that was ages ago. I think it was in Port Huron. He'll be performing at Keegan Ales, Kingston's very own Keegan Ales, next weekend. That's the 13th. That's next Saturday. He starts at 9 p.m. I'm going to try to be there. I want to hear what he's doing, what kind of songs he's writing, and hopefully get a chance to talk to him for a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it's exciting to have a peer, a former classmate, just going out and doing stuff and looking to see how he's doing and what he's up to. He'll be performing at Keegan Ales on the 13th, 9 p.m. That's Adam Sickler. While I'm at it, I guess I'll mention my show coming up. That's on Tuesday, the 9th, part of the monthly Sweet Sounds series at the Taste Buds Cafe over in Red Hook.
Yes, indeed.
I found out on Thursday that I will be up second, so I'll be starting at about 8 o'clock.
So you have an opening act now. There you go. There's nothing wrong with that.
Don't think of it that way, but I am going on second. And the young woman who will be on first, Madeline Thiessen, is an up-and-coming songwriter. She's a very gifted singer. Actually, it's kind of funny. A friend of mine is a voice teacher, and he was doing classes at Dutchess Community College, and she happened to be one of his students. and he was telling me about how good she is, and I guess a couple weeks ago I hadn't told him about my gig coming up just yet, but he said he found out about it from her, because he was talking to her about what she was doing this summer to keep busy with music and so forth, and she said, "Oh, I have this thing at Taste Buds Cafe, and there's this other guy who's also singing there. I think his name is James or something." So he knew it was me. Funny story about how small the world is,
Right.
and how interconnected the arts community in the Hudson Valley really is. We got to support each other. I think that's very important. So that's, the 9th, starting at 7 p.m., Taste Buds Cafe. I'll be on about 8, and starting at 7, very gifted young lady, Madeline Thiessen. I'm looking forward to hearing her sing. Also, I believe I've announced last week and the week before that today we were going to be hosting Amy Madeline, singer-songwriter from the Rosendale, New Paltz area. At least that's where I know her from. Was going to be joining us in studio to share her thoughts on the art of songwriting and to hopefully play a few songs for us. I'm a big fan of hers, and I was looking forward to it. Unfortunately, she had a little family emergency that has called her away, so we'll have to reschedule. Hopefully, she'll be in with us very soon. So,
Yes.
no, I hope everything turns out okay for her if she happens to be listening. I got her in my thoughts, and I hope everything turns out okay. Things happen.
Right.
We'll reschedule and have her on soon. Well, I'm going to just look through my notes here, see if there's anything older that is still ongoing. I know that there's always stuff like that going on.
Yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out. I don't have an internet connection in here with my phone, but I did want to mention a friend of the family, which is he's on the Facebook page under Nene Lindo,
Yes.
and he's a really good friend of the family. Has been, geez, for 40 years.
Wow.
Lives down by the city.
What is it they
And,
say? If you have a friend for more than 7, it's a friend for life.
Yes.
Is that what they say?
Yes. But he's been a friend of the family, or with my wife, since she was a little girl.
Wow.
And he joined on to my Facebook line, but he had put up a GoFundMe account to help his mother.
Oh, okay.
His mother is suffering with a serious illness, and she has to be on oxygen all the time. And
That's very serious.
he was trying to raise funds for a portable oxygen machine for her, so he's selling pretty much everything he owns. This you'll see on my Facebook and stuff like that. And you can look it up. I can't pull it up here. I'll give you the information right now, but it's a GoFundMe account. And like I said, he's a very good friend of mine. And his Facebook account is Nene Lindo, Nene Lindo, Lindo. But yes, he's on there, and he's trying to raise funds, but he can give you all that information on there. It is on my personal accounts, also on Happenings Around the Hudson.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll repost that later on today when I get to my Wi-Fi and my phone is working. Or when I post this recording to YouTube, I'll do it there too.
So friends, please watch Stan's Facebook profile, Stan K. Moss.
Yeah.
And also the Happenings Around the Hudson Valley Facebook group for more information on this if you feel like donating to this man's GoFundMe account.
Yes, it's a really good family, a really good cause, and the families in need, we try to help people out in need. So I will be reposting that. I've had it for about 2 weeks now. I posted it last week, and I'm going to repost it this week because it's a really beautiful family. He's trying to help his mom, and he's selling just about everything he owns.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of stuff of his also on the Facebook site that he's selling. He has like major collections of toys. He has major collections of a lot of old music and albums that are in mint condition. Some of them still wrapped.
Yeah.
You know, stereos, reel-to-reels, all sorts of stuff.
So this might be a chance for the music aficionados and vinyl record aficionados and collectors to not only help a family in need, but also to get your hands on something rare and unusual.
Yeah, because he's got games, toys, and collectors like the Star Wars figurines and stuff like that, and Hot Wheel tracks and stuff never been opened.
Wow.
So they're from the 70s and stuff like that. They're collectors. So these things are like 30, 35 years old now.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the ones you want. So
Sure.
I'll repost it, and I'll repost it with some of the pictures he's got up for sale.
Okay.
But with that being said, back to you, because we're at the top of the hour. Actually, it's 2 minutes after 7, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to WHVW 950 AM. This is Happenings Around the Hudson. I'm going to turn it over to an interview right here that I'm looking forward to listening to. So this is Stan Boss Swanson, and I'm going to back up, and we're going to listen to a beautiful interview. Oh, back to you, big guy.
All right, thank you. And thanks again to Brittany and her accompanist, Travis Bloom, for making time for us. We were able to put this together at the last minute here. I just found out about the opera they're doing on, I think it was Tuesday, but we were able to put this together very quickly, and I'm glad that we did. Now, it's a one-act opera, take about an hour. It's going to be at the Old Dutch Church this coming Thursday and Saturday. And I'll let them speak for themselves, but if their training and their devotion is any indication, there used to be some pretty good musicians you get to hear. And maybe opera is a little bit inaccessible for some people, but they'll share their thoughts on that also. It's more accessible than you might be thinking it is, especially this play, or opera, excuse me, especially this one, Suor Angelica. So, without any further ado, I will play this interview. It's going to last us until about 7:40, because they went on for a nice long time, really elaborating, really sharing their insights about their craft. And I love it when they really, when our guests really go into detail and really indulge us.
Right.
So thanks again to the two of them. So we'll be back with you in a little bit. These, in their own words, Brittany Sokolowski and Travis Bloom, the lead and the musical accompanist for the production of Suor Angelica, which is happening Thursday and next Saturday at the Old Dutch Church in Kingston. Her pianist, Travis Bloom, and very excited to announce that at the Old Dutch Church in Kingston this coming Thursday and Saturday, you can see them performing in a production of Suor Angelica, which is a one-act opera, correct? And we're very glad to talk to them and learn a little bit about their craft. So I'm going to start with Brittany. Tell us as best you can about your training and experience. Just introduce yourself.
So my name is Brittany Sokolowski. I am a local Hudson Valley native. I'm a lyric soprano. Both my parents are classically trained singers and musicians as well. So I grew up with a lot of music in my life and vocal training. I went to the National School of Music for
because having the workshop in Germany sounds very interesting as well.
Yeah.
Before we move on, just want to know, was there a gig you've had already that stands out to you as being particularly important?
I'm not sure if there was one. Probably would be this one that's about to happen. It's the most momentous. It's the biggest role I've had so far. Most well-known and probably the most challenging. But in the past, I performed for a number of years with the Phoenicia International Festival of the Voice. I was in Madame Butterfly with them as Kate Pinkerton and Little Night Music as one of the business leader. And those, being part of that festival for a couple of years, being family friends with the founders, Maria and Louis, that has really provided a tremendous amount of networking opportunities for me and some real first-hand experience with major professionals, singers and conductors, and that's been an amazing opportunity. Then other than that, those, of course, I was not in a very large theater role or anything like that, because it was a very professional organization. So other than that, I've played, this is my third opera with this company, Capital Opera Albany. I played 2 operas with them in the fall. I played Sylvia in Mascagni Veneto, and I played Francesca in Mascagni Cavalleria Lusitana, and that's where I met the producer of this opera company, and she was directing those in the fall, but she liked me and wanted me to play for Angelica, and she lives in California and didn't want to come all the way out here, so she asked me to direct it as well, so she really saw something in me, so that's where we are. That's where we are now. So, big challenge to direct and sing. I'm double cast, luckily, but I think it'll be really fun and give me a lot of experience.
Very cool. I somehow didn't know you were also directing.
I might have left that out.
That's very neat.
Focusing on the lyrics role. Yes, very much.
This could be a difficult question to ask. I ask people this question a lot, though. Especially while you were at school at SUNY Purchase. How did you see yourself grow as a performer?
Well, I came into SUNY Purchase actually as a transfer student. I was at Boston University for a year, and I had badly damaged my voice while I was there. Me and my teacher were not a good match, and I ended up leaving the school. I had had to be on complete vocal rest during the fall as soon as I got there, and it was just a very rough year for me. So going to anyone doing this, because a younger singer, too young, wouldn't be appropriate for some of these roles. They they could be prone to damaging their voices, starting too young, just because of the nature of opera. Having a technique that you can rely on, that is based on good breathing, good support, and once you get carried away on stage, you're not going to be carried away and blow your voice out. Exactly, and just start screaming, but you actually understand the resonance and where things are vibrating, and that you can continually remember those sensations of singing, and that you can reproduce them even when you're hearing such a loud orchestra, that you don't go crazy. Because oftentimes you don't hear yourself on stage, and it's not something that, so you have to, you're often going based on sensations instead of, can I hear myself in the hall? Many famous singers have said that oftentimes they can't hear themselves at all. They just have to rely on the physical sensations, not like over-tensing any muscles, and just trusting that it's happening. But if you can hear it, you're probably like just really tense and keeping it all to yourself, and it's not actually projecting the sound or projecting any string sound whatsoever.
I've had that conversation with other musicians about the role of muscle memory versus relying on ear training.
It's tricky because there's that kind of thin edge where you want to be feeling the part, but you can't actually physically feel the part too much because it might damage your voice, or it might, there's plenty of operas, tragic operas, you have to cry or die or something, but actually, that function in your body is like clenching of your neck and your throat, and people get choked up, and there's that, and you can't actually be choked up if you have to sing beautifully. So there's a good amount of lying as a performance. It's for the audience. Exactly. And that's you have to remember that that's the goal. Is that as long as they can feel it, they have to be able to empathize with the characters, and they have to be able to feel that emotion. And really, it's not about us. It's really a service. We are in a service, singing. Although, music to them. Many divas, or whatever in the business, they think it is all about the singing, it's all about them and the fame and all this, but really, it's delivering a story to the audience that they can relate to, that in some way, there's true emotions in this, even though, it was written, well, this one not as long ago, but, 100 years or so, but feeling, making sure the audience can connect in some way. I think that's really the most important. Yeah, those are some good questions there.
I appreciate the insight of making mention of analyzing also the way the words are structured. I mean, consonants versus vowels, that's always something they've stressed to me in composition class when writing for the voice.
Traviata's right there.
I think it's
I
perfect sound.
love the story, and a lot of like first-time opera goers, like I would suggest that. And
It's
but
enjoyable en route for any of you
exactly.
young
Yeah.
there.
I didn't know that.
But
Yeah.
musically, I like when I kind of know what to expect in some ways. Like there's a form, there's you have an aria, you have a duet, you have an ensemble, you have a finale, and then in all different orders for each act. Or the overture plays all the themes that you're going to hear in the rest of the opera. I love the organization of that, and I enjoy like knowing like, oh, this is Violetta's like death theme, and you're going to hear this. And really, I mean, some of the music of Verdi is so heart-wrenching, and it's classic opera, and I do love that. And even going earlier than that, in Italian opera, some people are not huge fans of Handel, but I love, again, what makes sense about it. The sequences, the harmonies make sense, but there can be, but it's a different way of expressing the emotion when you have such structure in the music. But Handel at the same time, in the recits, the accompanying recits, you hear, these falling intervals that really portray grief, and you hear a lot in Handel, like like I said before, in the sequences and whatnot. But it's gorgeous to me. I just find more order. Although I love, like she talked about Strauss, and I love that as well. I just know it's a real pain when you're breaking down the music. And I'm coming at it from the rehearsal pianist perspective, and following a conductor. It can be the worst. When you're doing some Strauss or newer things, where is the beat? Everything is swimming.
Oh god, yeah. For fun, is I'm like, let me just open Strauss and let me try to play a page or two.
Right.
Just like breaking down for a couple hours. But if that's your job, to play it all the
It's
time.
stressful.
Myself.
I just want to show up. I want to read this. It makes sense on the page. So give me the classics.
Yeah. Well, Verdi, I do have to agree. Verdi, I think, he was like Mozart, that everything was clean and concise, and there wasn't one beat too much in any of Verdi's operas. They were all exactly.
Absolutely.
Like, some operas you cut things from, or you cut section from, but Verdi, it was all
You really don't
exactly what you needed. It wasn't too much, it wasn't too little, and it was like perfect stories matched with like perfect music. I just like Strauss more.
And one more thing about Verdi is that he was beginning to connect with audiences more.
Yeah.
Because
Bridging that gap.
a lot of the themes of the operas before that have been like Greek tragedies, things like that. And he started writing things that were about real people, like they have names like of people you might, sitting next to you watching the opera, and that was interesting. Verismo, like feeling a connection to what is real, and that really is. Puccini is really also an extension of that from Verdi, writing things that connect to an audience with real people, real stories, and Suor Angelica, a little bit more mystical, but
not everyone was into the whole nun scene.
exactly. But have you seen Sister Act? Come on. I mean, this is the, no, this really is not the version of that.
Sister Act.
That leads nicely into my next question. Thoughts on opera in general. Somebody, especially if they've never been to an opera before, what should they know coming into it?
That it's always accessible. It has this whole, especially in America, it has this whole stigma of like, it's not for me, it's for like high class people. It's for elite people, and they're the only ones that can understand it. The only problem I have with it, to be honest, is that, especially just in America, is that there is that huge language gap. At least in Europe, you tend to hear a lot of languages more often. It's much more normal over there. But over here, that's just the one thing that you either can't get over that hump or you can't. So it's hard in that respect. But music is human music. Anyone can feel. It's very obvious in the stories, whether or not you know precisely what they're saying. The stories emote for themselves. That's what the music. That's why opera is so great. It's not just a couple of chords. It's really it's themes for death, themes for love, themes for new thoughts, and it's very
behind the orchestra, you know, it's just me, but usually there's a large orchestra, a smaller orchestra, and the conductor. That's just one aspect. Then you have coaches who are preparing singers and the nuance of the language and just, technique things, helping learn things, and their voice teachers, and that's just one aspect. Then you have the costumes, and it's a huge part of it. Then you have the set design, and that's like, exactly. Then you have the history. You have the composer that actually wrote the work, the librettist that he paired with years ago. It's such a.
Sometimes there's ballets and operas.
Absolutely.
You have dancers.
Right.
Normally, if there's any dancing nowadays, the biggest opera companies, they hire professional dancers to do all of that. You have to take the singer to
And for the aspiring artists, like, it employs so many artists of different kinds, and I have always found that amazing about opera, even as, when I was first
also the acting part of it. How does Squaw Angelica challenge you?
Well, I have never had a child, so I'm going to be choosing my dog to think of when I love my dog. She's 3. I mean, so when you're supposed to be a nun, which I have never been, and pregnant, which I have never been, and had a child die, which has never happened to me. That's some serious stuff. Luckily, it's all there in the music, which is, as often with these great composers, you can always draw on that. Like, if you've never been not a butterfly, if you're not Asian, like all these famous Italian wonderful singers who play this Asian girl, I mean, it's in the music. It's for you to call upon their experiences or do as best as you can to project what they must be feeling. But luckily with opera, you just have it's such rich music to draw upon. So that's really, and I really am going to be singing the words, the words with libretto. It's very important, and it keeps you tied right on that thread of thought. I'm going to use that music. Pretending that I've lost time. So it's been a big challenge. It is very dramatic at the end. So vocally, there's been a lot to work on. But it's going well. So, yeah.
Okay. Travis, how about you? How does Squaw Angelica challenge you?
Well, for me, one of the biggest challenges with Puccini is really the tempo variation. And for me, in anticipation of the rehearsals that are coming up, keeping it all together, keeping the singers together with the orchestra. We don't have a conductor, so being able to lead from the piano is really a challenge. And with Puccini, you have all this stretching, and you have faster moving parts, chatty parts, with the chatty nuns, and then Squaw Angelica has these long, luscious lines, and the challenge for me, and really any accompanist or any orchestra, is being able to line up and anticipate the stretching before it happens. So really you're singing from the piano, the pianist is singing, the conductor is singing, everyone has to be singing. So if you have a one-track mind and you're looking at your score and you're just like, this is what I play my part. You have to really be multitask as an accompanist. You have to be listening.
Emoting right there.
Exactly. And you are providing all the dramatic framework. It sets up every scene, and it's very important. It plays a huge role in the opera, and I would say that for me is one of the biggest challenges in making this instrument, like a percussion instrument and strings, but making it sound like an orchestra with. And there are different ways to do that, and one of the ways is not simply banging on the keys to be louder, but rather drawing the sound out and getting warm colors, and there are different ways to accomplish that as a pianist. Absolutely, yeah. And really going through your score and highlighting what instrument is playing here, how can I sound more like that? So that's the challenge of not having an orchestra and being exactly, and being the orchestra and conductor all in one. Many hats.
Yeah.
Just like her. Singer, director, costume designer.
Very exciting. So we were talking a moment ago about the thrill of live performance and all the things that can happen.
Oh, yeah.
So, before we move on, let's just do logistical stuff out of the way. Show times. Where can people buy tickets?
Buy tickets at the door. There's a suggested donation, $10 for the individual, 15 for a couple, and 25 for a family. You can go on the website. You have to click the Albany section to find out the rest of the information, but capopera.org, CAPOPERA. And then that's the whole homepage with the 5 different states
so just talk to you for a few minutes also, just to introduce you to our listeners as well. We already talked about studying in Germany, but tell us a little more about your background. Where are you from, and how did you start playing piano? When did you draw opera?
Sure. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and in the Poconos, and Mount Pocono, PA, that's where my family lives. And I went away to school in South Carolina at a smaller Christian school where I majored in music education on the choral track. So I was always interested in choir from high school. I did all the choral festivals, all state, what have you. And I guess I thought that's what my career path would be. I just love choir, and I love conducting choirs and the singing in all the groups. And then I did student teaching, and that changed everything. Then I realized this is how it will be. This is it. And it wasn't exactly, I guess, what I imagined for myself. And I respect music educators. I think the world of them. I just couldn't do it myself. And I guess I had always been a performer at heart. And I love to sing. I'm a tenor. And so I actually had voice lessons. Voice was my primary instrument in my undergrad. And then after student teaching, I realized that I wasn't going to go in that direction. I'd always played the piano. I started piano when I was 10. And I just decided that I was going to do a master's in piano. I to just go in a completely different direction. So I stayed at the same school where I was offered a grad assistantship, so a full ride for piano masters. And I did 2 recitals there. One with my very good friend Julia Witt, who's in Iceland right now, performing. But we did a duo concert, so two pianos, and then my senior recital, I'm sorry, not senior, master's grad recital, I played a big program of Bach, Liszt, and Debussy. And from there, the voice teacher I had been studying with went to Indiana University. She did her master's there. And several of my colleagues were moving on to different schools for doctoral positions. And I decided to continue my education at Indiana University. But now for voice. So I was just weird, and I kept flopping back and forth. Really, it was a hard decision. I just never knew what I wanted to do. We'll just say that. I was either piano or voice. I was happy when I was doing both. I was sad when I was only doing one. So if I was only doing piano, I felt like a slave in the practice room all by myself. Because I'm a singer at heart. My personality is more interacting with people, being around people. A lot of times pianists are by themselves for several hours. Cutting. I mean, you can't practice enough when you're a pianist. Like, I mean, either way, when you're a singer. No, you practice enough.
But singing let's say you can't practice too much.
You can't practice too much to hear yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
But, in this case, I don't know how, but I ended up at Indiana University. I auditioned there the year before when I was finishing my piano master's. And I got in with some scholarship and studied voice there. So for my first year, I said to myself, Travis, you're going to be a singer. And the longer I was there, the more I began to realize, like, again, I was missing piano. I knew I wanted to accompany, didn't know exactly how to do it. At IU, they do not hire staff accompanists. So freelance accompanists are hired by the students to play for their lessons and play for recitals. So I started getting hired to play for singers, and everyone responded well to my playing. Everyone really enjoyed my playing, and it made sense since I was a singer to play for singers. So it was very natural, and the more I did it, that's when I realized, well, this is where it all makes sense. I'm bringing everything that I have prepared this whole time for, bringing it together as a singer and a pianist, with singers. So a vocal, collaborative pianist, and coach as well. So that's where I'm at.
It
And
sounds perfect then, all the experience you have singing and the way that you said it helps you accompany, because you have to
Absolutely.
think about the singing when you do that.
Absolutely. A lot of the great coaches I've had, like the main coach and the conductor of the opera is Hugh Murphy at Purchase. He started as a singer as well, as a tenor. The course master right now for the Otello performance at the Venetian International Festival of the Voice, David Mayfield, he's a tenor as well, a singer. It's a really subtle art to be a pianist for a singer, and you have to know singing, so a lot of them are just the same kind of people who are, had that struggle between singing and playing piano, and were able to, be there to support the singers through very special art.
Thank you so much for making time to speak to us.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Yes, thank you for having us. So Thursday, 12:15, and Saturday, 8 o'clock.
All right, now thanks again, Travis and Brittany, for speaking to us. As I'm sure you can tell, they are both very well trained and highly accomplished musicians. Both Travis as an accompanist, as he mentioned, he has lots of experience singing himself, which helps him to accompany singers.
Right.
But also, they both attended Travis attended the Opera Factory, and the program Brittany attended at SUNY Purchase was also extremely rigorous and intense. So I think you can rest assured that you're going to hear some fabulous musicianship at this performance. The Old Dutch Church.
Yeah, they definitely compliment each other, and they enjoy what they do, and they're inspired by a lot of great people. They just sound like they compliment each other so well, and they enjoy what they do. Like I said, if it feels good, it's not a job.
That's right. That's I think that might be those might be the words I live by.
Right.
Maybe, just maybe. Well, thank you for listening, friends. It's we got about 8 minutes left to talk to you. Right now, you're listening to WHVW 950 AM. This is Happenings Around the Hudson Valley, and we're getting ready to wrap up here. My name is James Burke.
I'm Stan Boss Moss.
That's right. And let's see. A couple more things we could read before we call it quits here. I almost forgot to mention next weekend on the 13th. There's going to be at Messier Park in Wappingers Falls, the Hudson Valley Pet Expo, and People for Pets motorcycle run.
Yeah.
All proceeds benefit the Hudson Valley and Dutchess County SPCA associations. So if you are a pet lover, an animal lover, please make your way over there and have yourself a good day out with your loved ones.
Yeah. Drop off a donation if you got it.
Also, let's see, I got some flyers here for the Rhinebeck Performing Arts Center. Let's see, first we have auditions. Auditions are coming up on August 13th, 14th, and 15th for Inherit the Wind by Jerome Lawrence and Robert E. Lee. Inherit the Wind is a fictional account of the Scopes monkey trial, which focused on the conflict between creationism and the theory of evolution. That will be a play they are putting on from November 11th to 20th, but auditions are next weekend. So if you have the acting bug, please make your way on over there and give it your best shot.
There you go.
Auditions just wrapped up for Garson Cannon's Born Yesterday, comedy about politics and relationships. Auditions just wrapped up. Performance dates are going to be September 30th through October 9th.
Right.
Looking forward to that. I think that's a good choice for this year.
Yeah, that reminds me, there's a new comedy network that's just been out recently. It's called The Evening News. It's very political and very humorous.
That's a good one.
So,
playing right now at the Rhinebeck Performing Arts Center is Sunset Boulevard, Andrew Lloyd Webber musical that's going to run until the 21st. And for all the aficionados, all the devoted patrons of the arts. The 2016 Performing Arts Center Gala is going to be on August 26th. The doors open at 7. They're honoring director Andy Weintraub this year. There will be a performance by illusionist Ryan Dutcher. Like I said, this is for devoted patrons. Tickets are $100, but it goes to a good cause.
Yes, indeed.
So that's the 26th. We have a phone call. Just a second. Hello, WHVW. Sure. Thank you. That was our colleague Joel Tyner letting us know that he's a minute or two late. He'll be here soon. We'll just hang around for a couple extra minutes. That's no problem.
Yep. Ain't nothing but a thing.
Yeah, so I think that pretty much wraps it up for here today. Once again, thanks to our interview guests, Brittany and Travis. They'll be performing Thursday and Saturday the 13th at the Old Dutch Church in Kingston. Thursday showtime is 12:15. The Saturday showtime is 8 o'clock. It's a one-act, hour-long opera called Suor Angelica, and as we've just heard from them, they're both highly accomplished musicians.
If you like opera, check it out. If you've never been to an opera, check it out.
Definitely. As for me, if you don't mind indulging me for a second, I'll be performing on August 9th. That's this coming Tuesday at the Taste Buds Cafe in Red Hook. I'll be on at 8 o'clock. Starting the show at 7 o'clock will be the very gifted young lady, Madeline Thiessen. We're both singer-songwriters from in the Hudson Valley area playing our original tunes.
For those about to rock, we salute you.
Should be fun. I think I'm going to hit up Carl Allwire's open mic at the Shelter. It's a bar that just opened up in Rhinebeck, the Shelter.
Right.
I think I'll drop by that for the after party. It'll be fun. So it'll be a fun night. Come out and see us if you're in the area or you just feel like making a road trip. It'd be great to see you all.
No doubt. Entertainment had by all. Good entertainment had
Yes,
by all.
entertainment had by all. Well, I guess we have a couple minutes to fill. I can
Yeah.
play a song.
Yeah, please do. I love your music, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Just steal a few minutes here, gifted to us by Joel Tyner for a little self-promotion.
That's right.
Fans of Joel Tyner, don't
If you get a
despair.
chance.
He's on his way.
If you get a chance, ladies and gentlemen, come check out my co-host here. Mr. James Burke's going to play one of his renditions. He likes his own music, but you should enjoy this.
Hey, how come you never are around? We have so much we'd like to show. All we want is a little of your time to demonstrate a love that's true. Say goodbye to agitation and hello to adulation. Embrace tomorrow and the joys awaiting. The time has passed for deliberating. Cast the vote that we've prepared for you. Save your voice for entertaining tunes. Heaven and earth we have moved for you. Your district, your own private mood. Say goodbye to agitation and hello to adulation. Embrace time is past for deliberating. Silence hurts when other offer you your attention, so garb I need. Once we exercise these fantasies, now it's yours, I long to read. So do not fear the coming judgment. That judgment has already been cast. Just trust when I say we're here for you. For 3 million hearts you'll be dead. Say goodbye to agitation, and hello to adulation. Embrace tomorrow and the joys awaiting. The time has passed for deliberating. Say goodbye to agitation, and hello to adulation. Embrace tomorrow and the joy awaiting. The time has passed for deliberating. Thank you for indulging me. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Alright, the man of the hour is here. Thank you so much for joining us on Happenings Around the Hudson Valley. You can find us on Facebook, our Facebook group, Happenings Around the Hudson Valley. You can share your events with us there. We'd love to hear from you. You can also find me on my artist page at James Burke Songs. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to turn it over to Joel Tyner. Stay tuned, friends. Stay tuned.
Have a good day and a better time.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Stanley. Boss Moss. I appreciate you hanging out a bit extra. I got a favor to ask you two gentlemen. This is the second and third favor. Number one,
What's that?
Patrick Fitzgerald of My Place Pizza next door. He